where we was in the car, the driver was taking us to the airport. I said, I don't want to get on this flight. I don't feel good about this flight.
Yeah.
I said, something ain't right with this flight.
Yeah. Wow.
She was like, they don't scare me. I was like, nah, but I know how to read signs just as well as she do. I'm like, I don't feel right.
Yeah.
Not mentally, I mean physically.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And when I got
it wasn't that you thought the plane was going to go down.
No, I just ain't feel right about the plane.
Yeah.
And do you know, bro, I would say 15, 20 minutes for us to get to 30,000 feet is when it happened.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
in the air.
Yeah, nothing nobody can do.
Yeah.
But so what I'm getting out of that is that we have to stop second guessing our gut.
Yeah.
Like when people right now building companies and they playing it safe, you already set yourself up to lose.
Yeah.
Jump off the cliff. No, don't be stupid. Like just making just decisions where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I want people to see me, doing different things. Nah, but when you really believe it in your heart, don't let nobody discourage you from that, because if you know how to win, you're gonna win. And guess what else everybody gonna do? They're gonna follow.
Yeah.
Because they need to see it. That's sometimes. Powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many dreams have been stopped because somebody told them
it has to work or it has to work?
Welcome to an episode of Accelerate the Great. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis. And as I said, I'm going to keep bringing you the best entrepreneurs in the world. This particular episode is special to me because this dude is from West Philly, man. And it's just, I'm going to keep it a buck. It's hard to make it out of the hood, y'all, at a certain level, at the level that he's playing at, man. I'm talking about a restaurateur. I'm talking about an entrepreneur. I'm talking about a real estate guy. I'm talking about going crazy. Without further ado, y'all, I want to introduce my guy. D, what up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, bro, thanks for coming on, bro.
I appreciate the introduction, but you doing your damn thing, man.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you, bro. It's funny, we was just talking. So I just moved to Atlanta 2 years ago, and I, from Atlanta, I love a cheesesteak, dog.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and when people say they got Philly cheesesteaks and they ain't from Philly, I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
They call it a Philly.
Yo.
That's when you know it's not authentic, when they be like, yo, go get you a Philly. I be like, we don't call it that.
Yeah. So when I found out about your store, Big Dave's, I'm like, man, this the dude from Philly too? I said, I gotta go try one. And I've been rocking out. I used to be right there on Peachtree Boulevard. So I used to go right down there, Doraville.
Yeah.
And even my favorite is you got the spring rolls, but it got one of the sauces is like an orange sauce.
The cheesesteak egg rolls,
yeah. But it's the sauce like this,
the honey hot.
Yeah.
Thing heat, right?
And then fast forward, so me and my wife used to go there. She'd do the salmon, and then one day we had your other bar, Dinky's, and I'm like, that's the dude on there, and we never really connected at that time. But I saluted you and Pinky. I used to go there. I went to your grand opening. I just pulled up, but I love what you doing, bro. You going crazy.
I appreciate you, and I seen the love you was giving, and then when I found out you was from Philly, I'm like, damn, that's what's up. I was hearing your name and all that. I was hearing your name, not even knowing it was you. That's the funny part.
Crazy.
And then one day I went on the gram, and I'm like, damn, I put the face to the name.
Yep.
Then I started seeing your philanthropy work and all that, man. I'm like, listen, we gotta sit down one day and chop it up. But what we doing, it needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Facts. It needs to be seen, because where we come from, you don't make it out unless you're a rapper or a ball player. Nobody want to talk about financial literacy or even had an education, even know what we're talking about. Yeah. But now when we got brothers that look just like us and can deliver that message, come on, man, we gotta sit down and knock this out,
bro. And like you said, I can't wait till we figure out we put something. I know we got to do some philanthropy together.
We definitely
we gotta do that ASAP, and then I know we gonna figure out money plays,
bro. We gonna do a lot together.
Yeah. I be telling people a lot of times, for me, man, it be about building a relationship. It ain't me. Yo, bro, how can we run? Like, yo, how can I serve you? Like, what you got going on?
I tell people all the time, like, relationships should take you so much further than currency.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah,
dog.
we put ourselves on currency so much that we scare away good potential people.
Yeah.
Like, if you build a relationship, you never know when you need that person. You call them and say, listen, I got something I need to do, boo, boo, boo. And that fall right in your lap to get you the bag. Yeah. But if you start with the bag, it may run from you.
Yep.
And that's what I've been
And it's funny, I was in a recent situation in transparency. Like, somebody hit me up like, bro, let's do some coaching. And I want to pay you. And I'm like, I'd rather build with you, but if you want, let me tell you what the number is, and then he might have felt disrespected.
But that's what it is.
Yeah, it is what. But I'm like, I don't want to lead with money. I really want to build with you. Like, how can we really build?
And I'm gonna tell you something else. I like what you do too, is that You on a day-to-day teaching the financial literacy on your page. You giving out a game.
Yep.
Whether they listen or not, one person gonna listen. You changing a life, and that's what I think for me. Like, I sit there and do my speaking engagements, and if I can attack one person to really just like figure it out, and I achieve my goal because one person gonna help another person, and it's about uplifting each other. Once you get to the higher levels, like I don't want to be around people that drain my energy.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because then I can't be myself. I can't be great. I can't be inspiring to people like I want to be. So you got to keep people around that's gonna keep your battery charged up, and that's what I've been doing.
How good? One thing I noticed about you is you authentically yourself. I'm talking about the West Philly. You gonna talk how you going. How good do it feel that you don't have to like? We don't gotta really. What's the word? Like basically, you don't gotta shrink down, or you don't gotta. You go on these interviews, you yourself. You gonna wear what you want. You gonna do your thing.
I tell people, it feel good. I tell people like I got 40-something tattoos on my body. I'm not the average CEO. I'm not the person. Listen, bro, I didn't spend days like, where I'm with Robert Smith or Richie Lou Dennis. Like I can name them all, that the big boys, and I'm learning from different aspects of life, just being around those type of people. But I'm myself. Yeah. Because I got to keep my authentic self with myself, because I can't fake this. It ain't lights, camera, action. It's on all day. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because if you be somebody you ain't, one day you're going to be tired, and then you get caught on camera or you get caught in person, and you just ain't that person. You ever heard somebody say, damn, like, I see that person on Instagram, but they so much different in person. You're going to get me the same way every single time, no matter what, because I'm not chasing the people that, and no shade to nobody that graduated from college, and no, I'm chasing the people who think their life is over. Yeah. Because I came from the slums, but I came from the ghetto. Yeah. And we didn't just have no resources. So a lot of mistakes and stuff that we made growing up, that ain't something that we wanted to do. That was something that was necessary for us to get out. Yeah. Or necessary to live in, like the jungle. Like you see every day, whether you outside chilling on the corner or whatever you doing, you don't even realize that there's a whole nother life out here of brothers that look just like you chasing something different, and we got to let them see that. Yeah,
it's funny. I was speaking yesterday from my buddy event, and I said this is like, we from West Philly. It's like a lot of kids in West never been to North. No, they never been to New Jersey, New York. Like it's crazy. So we gotta be. And it ain't even talking about the things we got, the material. Like I'm letting you know. Dad been in jail since I was 2, committed murder, kicked out of high school, kicked out of college, fired from 10 jobs, bad credit score. I am you.
And I seen, you had the dump service, you know what I'm
saying? All that hard work.
When somebody intrigues me, I pay attention to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give each other flowers enough as men. Like, you know what I'm saying? I tell my people that I'm proud of them, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy for you. Because at the end of the day, the path that you keep plowing, if I'm plowing too, we gonna build the path together. No matter we in different directions, we still bringing each other up, because they gonna bring our names up when it's time to talk. They gonna say, "Hey, I got these brothers. I need to come talk." So that's why I be trying to get people to understand. Like, you gonna have your time, you gonna have your downs, but as long as you keep the wheel going, you gonna get to your mission. Yeah,
you said, I was listening to an interview you did. You've been going crazy on these interviews. I don't remember this. What was the story about your dad? I want to say you was talking about.
So I tell you that. So. My dad is the reason why I actually I did Big Dave Cheesesteaks, because I watched my father die in front of my face. But before I even get to that point, my dad was like my best friend. He wasn't just a dad. Like, his principles and morals that he brought me up in life, I ain't understand it then. Yeah, I understood it when he was no longer with me. Yep. You ever heard that you're a man when you could take care of your family from the casket, and we take it as a financial thing all the time. Yeah. But how much information did you give your child to keep going in this world? Yeah. And that's what my dad gave me. Now, it was blue collar work. Yeah. I'm using my mental, but I watch somebody take care of their family every single day. Yeah. So I know how to take care of my children. Yeah. If I never seen it, it might be a little different road for me. Yeah. Like, I've been around, situations where I got myself in trouble and I hung around maybe the wrong crowds, but how can it be so much of the wrong crowds when this is the environment that you brung up in? Yeah. It's all about who catch the education first. Yeah. Now, who gonna listen to you to be the next one to come out? That's my mission now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for me, seeing my dad, like, we driving in the car one day, and he was like, he had a cold, and he go to the hospital, they think he got pneumonia. Go to another hospital, they treat him again, and then he find out on the third one he got cancer. Well, he didn't even find out he had cancer. He found out he had a tumor. Right? So he tried to go to Fox Chase in Philly. They was booked up. So we came down to Emory University, and I was working at the post office at the time. I was a mail handler.
That was your last job?
That was my last job, bro. I was working at the post office, and I went to my boss and I said, yo, I've been working here 3.5 years. I ain't never called out. I worked overtime when y'all needed me, whenever.
Yep. It
was a good job. You know what I'm saying? American dream, so what they put in our hands, right?
Yeah.
So I go to my boss and I say, my dad got cancer. I need to go down to Atlanta for a little while, help him out. He tell me it's the holiday, he can't do it. I said, listen, man, I'm going to get another job, but I ain't going to get another father. Right. I'm out.
Yeah.
That was my first time I rolled with my gut and jumped off the cliff, because some people are so attached to their financial gain, even as a loved one. They like, damn, how am I pay my bills? I got a car note, I got a mortgage. Like, what am I going to do? But I just went with my faith and my direction. And then later on, it steered me to what I am right now, because when I left in those 6-7 months of my dad, you know what I'm saying, fading away, passing away and dying, I grew so much manlyhood from that, because I'm like, damn, I had the privilege of speaking to my father one last time before he died, and promised him I wasn't gonna get in the streets no more. I promised I was gonna break my generational curses. And I try to tell people that I'm not gonna fail, because it's a mission I'm on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't on a money chase. Yeah. I'm on a mission. Yeah. It's a difference. Yeah. So when I followed my mission, I knew I was gonna get to the end of my road. And the way I'm gonna do that is that I had somebody show me the map. Right. All I gotta do is drive. Right. And I needed people around me that was gonna drive, so I had to try to build my team. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but it's learning lessons. I tell people, you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna win from them. Both ways you're gonna learn. Right. So the information gonna come to you, teaching you. Yeah. So as I'm winning, as I'm losing, I'm still becoming a stronger me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A better me, maturing myself. And I was emotional with my business. Yeah. Cause you know what I'm saying, we never had nothing. That's coming up, we get somebody say something crazy, we emotional. Yeah. But now somebody say that to you now, you're a businessman. You know business. Yeah. Some people might not say, yo, that person said that. I'm a businessman, bro. I'm not gonna get out of my character with that. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it took maturity to get to that level though. So as I'm going, I lose him, and then I got hurt the same year, where I wound up being disabled for 5.5 years. Wow. Right?
How'd you get hurt?
I had an injury. So I had a crazy injury I really can't talk about. But I got it, yeah. Yeah, but I had an injury or whatever. And I battled these 5.5 years getting my life back. I'm walking on canes. I'm suffering. I'm talking about pain out of this world, bro. Yeah. And at that time, I'm like, damn, God is staring me for something. I don't know what it is, but he's staring me for something. So I came down to Atlanta on my birthday. And I never look back, bro, because I knew that my opportunity was here, because I seen black people like I never seen before in my life. Everybody looked like they was like on the moon balling. I'm like, damn, Philly ain't like that. You get killed for stuff like this. You know, I'm like,
hey, that's a fact. Yeah. The cars, how we move, yes. You can't. No, you right now in Philly.
Oh no, neither one of we can't. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna knock on it with you.
Hey, Saul, I don't know if you know Saul, Country Cooking.
Hey man, I don't know her, but I respect her and I love what she doing for the communities. Yeah. Like it's certain people that I shouted her out on Breakfast Club. I don't know her, I never met her, but I respect her. Like I see what she do for the community, man. Like. Shout out to Milano too, man. She doing her thing on a high level from West. It's a lot of people right now that's watching these stories that we put together. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You driving a Wraith Lambo, like you going crazy, like you know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is like all that to the rest of the world might look like, damn, they really got that. But to me, for me, what I buy, that's just to remind myself how hard I work. I know this sounds crazy, but I don't even care to enjoy it. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm doing this so you can see that you can do it. That's powerful.
Like, and people don't get that part until they get there, because they look at it like right now, you'll do a video, right? You might be like, I might do a little talk in the car, and you might throw the steering wheel or whatever you in. That's not the stunt though. That's for you to understand that we came from the mud from this. Yeah. Like I could walk in a dealership and buy a $400,000 car and get it shipped to my house. You know what I'm saying? And don't gotta sign nothing until I get there. But those are the things that we work for. Yeah. We're working for power. Yeah. We're not working for money. We're working for levels and power. And when people understand that,
it's powerful.
Yeah. And then on the other side of it is when you say financial literacy, it's just popular, right? Yeah. Yeah. People just think that it's a financial gain. Yep. It's about the information. Because right now, say me and you right now, we come billionaires and we don't teach our kids right, they're just going to blow the bag and kill the whole 100, 200 years of the generation.
It's over.
So you got to give the game, the financial part of it, but you also have to give the understanding of business, leadership, and this world, this crazy world we about to be in.
Yeah.
And you got to take that and run with it. And if we don't get that game to them the right way, all our hard work gonna get passed on to what?
Yeah.
Why do you think there's so many wealthy people right now say, I'm gonna give all my fortune away
Yeah.
to the communities or a foundation?
Yeah.
Because they feel like they failed with their kids, giving them the real game of financial literacy. Because to the world right now, when we speak financial literacy, all they think about is money.
Yep.
They don't understand that you might have just taught a kid how to fix their credit score, to keep it at a 700, 800. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that break generational curses, not just the currency. Because you get an average person right now, $1 million, they blow it in 6 months.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, bro, I don't like giving you money. Like, I don't give money to even my wife. Like, excuse me, my wife get to do what she want. But I'm saying my mom, I give you opportunity.
Yes.
Here's a business for you. I'm giving opportunity. One of the things I do, and it's something I do pretty much every week. I go back and look at people who was up, old rappers, old athletes.
Damn, man, we think alike, bro.
Bro, and I'll be like, yo, they was up. Where they went wrong, and then I try to figure out, like, that can't be me. So that's one of my things I do. That's why I'm trying to educate. Like, I'll give you an example. My daughter, she's 17. My big daughter, 17, and she don't want to go to college, and we don't force you to go. You don't gotta go.
That's me too, bro.
It ain't, do what you want. But if you leave out of this house and you don't know about credit, I'm gonna feel like I failed you.
Yeah.
And I don't be trying to push her so hard, but it's like, I want you to learn how to make money. You ain't gotta shake your butt. It ain't nothing wrong if you got it, but I want you to learn. I guess that's what you're saying. I want you to learn, like, right now I'm about to have her learn options. Like, I want you to learn something that you can make money without. If you don't have a brand, you building big brands, so of course you can make. But what if you don't have that? I want you to learn them skills, options, and see, that's life what I'm saying.
Insurance. You got LLC builders and you got entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
and that's what I tell people. Like, you ain't ever met somebody and be like, oh yeah, I got 10 companies.
Yeah,
well, which one am I making money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even in the pandemic, you had people that didn't know how to pivot, right?
Yeah, facts.
Because they didn't learn their craft. Like, that's like I just said this earlier in another podcast I was speaking in, and I was like, if you're an assistant, right? If you just learn the day-to-day roles, you ain't learn nothing, because you ain't learn the person you beside.
Right.
So how are you my assistant when you don't know when I'm not even feeling right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I want to learn business to the T, that I know when it's not feeling right, when I know that it's not attacking that person, when I know I'm not giving the right information to the person to learn it.
Yep.
And that's what I mean by that. Like, you can't just work in something for currency. You got to work in something for understanding what it really is, so that you can spread the information, because the information is the strongest thing we got, bro.
Bro, I tell people all the time, they miss out on opportunities. A lot of people miss out on opportunities because money not tied to it.
Bro, you just said something that's so powerful, because I think that's why a lot of people aren't as successful as they want to be. Like, no, when you get to the certain level, yeah, get your bag. You know what I'm saying? But it's the thing. Right now, I get paid for every speaking engagement I talk on. But I go talk to the youth for free.
Yep.
I go talk to juvenile delinquents for free.
Yep.
And I go talk to schools for free.
Yep.
Because those are the kids, the Gen Zs that I want to get the information to, because guess what? They might don't got a big brother at home.
Yep.
They might don't got a father at home. Mother might be working multiple jobs, and she's doing what she's doing best to take care of her family. But what you got to do? You got to jump in the streets, because now I want to help mom out. And I've been there, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I want to be able to attack the youth before I even get that far. And they going to listen to us because we look just like them. And come on, bro, we come from the jungle. Ain't too many other places you can't make it out of. You can't make it out of Philly.
That's fat. And it's funny. I used to tell people all the time, it's like, yo, back, I'm sure saying with you, when they come to the career days, it's always like a cop, a firefighter, a 70-year-old. Like, them young, I was tapped out hearing what they had to say. I was too, but man, when we come in there, they're like, oh, yeah, you can actually make it out here.
And I make sure when I actually make sure when I go do those things, I drive nice stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you got to give it to them visually.
Yep.
Because sometimes we get stuck in this whole thing of, listen, man, it's like 400, I think, athletes that's in the NBA.
Yep.
Out of millions.
Yep.
They let a couple kids in every year, right?
Which is crazy.
A
couple.
Yeah, just
I think
a couple.
it's like 50 or 60 people.
It's like slight, just like a couple. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing real heavy, but.
Hey, sorry to stop the episode. I know you're probably wondering, Neil, I always see you with that brand on. How can I be a part of it? How can I get the official gear of every entrepreneur in the world? What I need you to do is go to newageceos.com so you can get your gear. We got something for women. We got something for men. We got something for spring. We got something for fall. We got something for winter. We want to make sure you have the official gear of every entrepreneur in the world. Go to newageceos.com.
Think about all of those kids that actually got the talent, right?
Yep.
But like us, we talking right now. We got the microphones on us. We got the cameras on us. But some people are good talkers without that on there. But when that shit get on there, they can't deliver the message.
Yep.
Some of us just took bad tests. You know what I'm saying? We practiced the game.
Yeah.
But soon as that time came, we ain't delivered. And then that chance passed us. Yep. I'm doing a book right now that's coming out first quarter. And it's going to teach the person. Thank you, bro. It's going to teach the person that if you had a kid, or you had to, you know, do a little reroute on your career, or you just had to, you know, work at your job. If you had something that you want to do with your vision, I'm going to bring you back to go chase your goals and your dreams, because as long as you got breath in your body, it ain't never too late.
Facts.
We live in a world right now that you can actually get wealthy off of the internet.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? This is the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, like, people don't have patience. Yeah. Like, I've been doing this for 7.5 years. I think my first 3 years, I ain't even make $100,000.
Yeah, yeah.
But from
my
18,
7 years.
Yeah, but from 18 to now, I've been making million over million over million. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna have your spurt.
Yeah.
But you gotta get ready for it when it's your time, because if you ain't ready for it, just like you said, you will be up there and then you come back down. Now, what I do is I study people. I go look at Warren Buffett.
Yep.
Like I go
Robert
look
Smith.
at Robert Smith.
Yeah.
I even go look at people net worths go down.
Yep.
I don't do it just to be like in nobody's business to see what they worth. I want to know where they made their wrong move at. And everybody says the same thing. I was just at the Apollo watching Fat Joe's story about his book, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll have a whole group of people around you, right? But they ain't on the mission you on.
That's a fact.
We can party, but we can't practice.
Yeah.
I want people at my practice.
Yep.
I don't want people at my party.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I want my soldiers to be with me why do you think, you just said this, why do you think in high school, when you got career days, why do you think the service is there, like the U.S. Army and the Air Force? They want the fresh mindsets before they get damaged.
Yep.
Now we got to go fix the damaged mindsets because we've been in so much damage growing up.
Yep. And it's funny you say this. This another reason why, and that's why I love my crew now, man. It's just like, I could call you, like, I got a fire crew out here.
No, you do,
Everybody
bro. Y'all
getting it.
Yeah, y'all doing y'all thing, and that's what really drew my attention to y'all too. Is like, y'all got a brotherhood, and I like that because the thing about it is, I was asked this question earlier. How is it even me being who I am, being around a strong woman, bro? How ain't it a blessing being around a woman that inspire you? How many men can say that?
Not a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fact.
Like that's a plus when your other half inspire you,
bro.
Like when it ain't just built off of love.
Yeah.
Like, and you can say this. If we went in a relationship or nothing, this person actually inspired me.
Yeah.
We just happened to be together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
And I see that with y'all brotherhood. Y'all inspire each other and y'all move together with each other, and that's how y'all gonna win. That's how y'all do it.
Yeah, and it's funny. I say when I look at the rappers and the athletes, I realize one of the ways, and it's not all of them, but some where they go wrong is that it's only one winner on the team.
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine we going out, every time we go out, it's 10 of us. Every time you got all 9.
Yeah, and you already know you like 7-8 grand. Every time y'all go eating dinner.
So now when we going out, it's like you don't need the bill. Somebody took the bill. You don't even know who got the bill.
Yeah, because that is what I call financial gains of a team. Because if all of y'all can pay for that tab, who really winning? All of us. Ain't just one of us. Because we human at the end of the day, right? So here's the thing. At some point in time, when somebody just see one person winning, they'll get into their own feelings like, damn, why not me?
Yep.
Why not you? Because you ain't putting in the work.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Even on the team right now, people that had to chop down teams, they had to go to themselves and say, yo, who gonna help me row this boat though? Who gonna help me get this money back? Who gonna help this success grow? Like everybody on my team right now, they understand the mission. If I can't pass you a bag and I'm busy, or I can't get you to go make a move for me, or I can't get you to pick me up from the airport, or I can't get you to put something in your mindset that you could be a boss, I can't be around it, because it's the thing. The where I'm going to the top, and I'm not stopping. And I can't have nobody to get into that. My mental got to stay fresh. That's the reason why, like I tell people, if you got people around you every day, your day-to-day that's helping you with your life, they got to help you so much like it's their own life. They got to get it, because we all going to win at the end. They got to trust it and believe it. And if you don't got people that trust it and believe it, you got to get away from them, because you're never going to get to where you're trying to go. And it ain't about Neil making it. It's about you as the mouthpiece of the brand that's just getting built. But in that brand, I'm pretty sure you got a bunch of people behind the scenes that's helping you do this. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, I'll take the credit. I'm like, listen, man, my team, even with Big Dave's, man, listen, I don't cook no more. It's a blessing that I ain't cooked in almost a year and a half.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And my team carrying it, and nobody egos got in the way. You know how hard it is for a weak-minded person to see me keep growing and popping up all over social media and buying stuff, and they still in there? No, because they understand at the end of the road, they got equity. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to wait for no 401k plan. You know what I'm saying? They know at one day when I do sell, they good. You know what I'm saying? And I take care of them along the way.
Let me ask you, because I was literally about to ask you, you travel so much. They say, and I would want a restaurant one. They always say I want one. I always hear how people say how hard it is. I hear that.
It is, but I think with you, it wouldn't be hard for you, because I would say you understand the thin lines of business, right? So you got your bottom line. The restaurant have a very small profitability. But when it's ran correctly, you can now scale a brand that can go 7, 8x to 10x off of your investment, right? But here's the thing: restaurants don't build the way people think they build. They build off of people understanding the mission like a motor. It's like if your belt come off your engine, the motor ain't gonna take you nowhere. So it's like one person can mess up a $500,000-$600,000 month. You know what I'm saying? Of making a bad call, or over ordering. Or just not paying attention to the management, and then the management might not be paying attention to the employees in there working every day. So I actually go in my restaurant now. I try to once a month, and I speak to them about financial literacy. And the one thing I push on them, because the one thing in a workplace that people are most miserable about is working paycheck to paycheck. Right. So if you got a paycheck to paycheck type of job, when you go to work, you just like, man, I can't wait till Friday so I can get paid, so I can get up out of here. I don't want them people, bro. I want people to feel good about what they coming to work for. I want you to understand my story, my mission. I want you to be like, I want to help this chain move. I want to make this company big, just as big as McDonald's. I tell my team, my core team, I said, do you think anybody...
How many people on the core team?
Right now on my core team, I got like 9.
Got it.
And I got like 90 in Big Dave's right now.
Got it.
But I tell them, do you think the core team of McDonald's family ever worried about working again?
Right.
They ain't worried about Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc was the CEO and owner of it. But what about the team around him? All of those guys helped build this multi-billion-dollar brand. Family should be good now, right? Now that's the same thing what I'm trying to build. Like I'm trying to get them to understand.
So casting the vision sounds like that's important.
It's very important, because it's the only way you can grow a brand. Like even with your company right now, like you about to leave to go doing speaking engagement, and you might got some other stuff that need to be handled. If you don't have somebody that could take care of those things, it's going to cripple you, because you're going to be teaching while you failing. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to teach why I fell. I can't do that. It's kind of faking it. Because I can't give you the game on something if I'm really not winning. Because I gotta be the professor and the student and the learner.
That's good. Let me ask you, because I mean, core team at 9, core team at 90. You go in there once a month. That mean the systems is, because I mean, I hear everybody, like I go to restaurants, the owner be in that joint. Like in Atlanta, I go in there, the chef is in the kitchen, the owners are So this may help somebody who's a restaurateur, or like is that building a good management to keep, like how are you?
It's building a good management, but it's like this. And me and you do business, guy, we gotta believe in each other. It's a relationship, right? So when you hiring your core people, they gotta be not just good at what they do, but they got to understand the culture of what we building.
Yeah.
So now my CRO, he right now, he has the experience to run probably 500 to 1,000 restaurants because that's what I want to go get.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
go get the best.
You have to.
Yeah. Make it easy.
If you
that's how you ain't in there every month.
No, yeah, you got to go get the best. Because to be honest, and I'm not shading nobody that actually still work in a restaurant, but I ain't build this to be an employee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I build this to put the work in so we can inspire people to keep on growing. If I'm still in a restaurant at this point in my career, nothing's gonna get done because half of the time I'm not gonna be able to get the work done. I'm gonna be talking to people.
You working in the business and not on the business.
Exactly. So I'm watching all of the big boys and how they did it, and the hardest thing to do is to walk away.
Yeah.
But when you walk away, you're gonna have your pains. You're gonna have people saying it's not the same, the brand is different. But as you get in these things, this is information you need to feed back into the company. And then that's when you go hire what you need. It's always good. I tell people, you ever seen a business say under new management, but don't really be under new management just to revamp? Yeah. No, really go get a new management. Yeah. You got to cut the cancer as soon as you feel it. You know what I'm saying? No matter how bad you love the person, you got to cut the cancer the moment
I be holding on to people too long, I think.
I did that too, but 2023, bro, is going to be different. I actually started already because I'm preparing myself because this is the thing, right? It's a difference between an honest mistake and somebody actually tearing you down what you built. Yeah. Because it ain't a mistake if you keep doing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then you might not have a person that have the education to actually do that job. We got to be real with ourselves too. Because sometimes we be holding on to things that we actually are the problem. Bro. Us as the CEOs are the problem sometimes too, because we believe so much into these people that we like, nah, they gonna get it together, they gonna figure it out. But what if they just don't have the education level or the understanding to do that role? And then guess what we do? Yeah. We go say we're gonna put them somewhere else. Yeah. Right? Move them somewhere else in the company. Nah, what I want is people that if I tell you I need you to work harder or we gotta figure this out, go learn it. Yeah. You know, Google is free. YouTube is free. Yep. Go watch. If I tell my managers, if you want to raise or you want to grow in this business and you feel like the reports might not be coming back on you the way you want them, go sharpen your skills up. Yeah. I gotta sharpen mine up.
Go find a new way to bring money in this company.
Exactly. Yeah. I can't be if I gotta be to everything, I still ain't hire the right people.
Yeah. It's funny because one of my biggest mistakes, and this is for entrepreneurs, I hope they don't. One of my biggest mistakes have been with hiring is hiring and be like, well, they're training them and be like, hopefully they're going to get it. Now, what I want to do, like you said, I want to hire I want you to come in, you teaching me some stuff about this thing.
You got to, because guess where we going, bro? Yeah. We going into a zone where we never been before.
Right, yeah.
So like, we ain't never been before. We are adjusters. Yeah. So we got to put people around us that know more than us for us to keep growing. Right now, we speaking this. We giving people the game. And only for us to keep giving people the game at a higher level, we got to walk through it. But we need people around us that can make us sharper. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's been my mistake, bro. I train people up and hope you grow and then sometimes it's taking you too long to grow there. Now we just wasted some time. Yeah. I'm trying to hire now. I'm hiring top talent now. Yeah. It's costing me more, but the results are better.
Yeah, it's gonna feel better later because this is the thing. Even with you right now, you can take everything you do. You need somebody really educated and really experienced so that you can keep on speaking. Yep. Because your company will crumble. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It will crumble. Like I would love to go hire all of my cousins and everybody in my family and be on a Frank Lucas takeover. Yeah. But I also know if I do that, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be a guinea pig. I'm gonna be going round and round and round. It's gonna be at 360. I want to be at 180. Yeah. I want to come back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what I tell people all the time. They be like, yeah, man, my life did a 360. I'm doing good. How? You just said 360. You just came back to the same shit you left. Yeah. No, we got to keep on going. And when you keep on going, it's going to be people in your family, whether they like it or not, they're going to start paying attention to you and saying, damn, you really did know something I ain't know. Yeah. Because the one thing I battled with was because I love so hard, man. And the one thing I battled with is when I feel like I hurt somebody, but just trying to make them a better person and what I think it should be. But I learned that if I just be the person I need to be, they going to be who they need to be regardless, because eventually, if they going to wake up or not, they still going to be able to look at it. Whether I tell people, I don't even use the word hater no more, because guess what? haters are the main ones of lives you are changing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the motivation we get from it by somebody telling us we can't do something and all that. That is the plus. Because somebody tell me I can't do something.
It's up.
I needed that.
Yeah.
Because I might have gotten too comfortable. I might just, be cool driving in my whips and all that all day. Nah, I need you to tell me that I'm doing something wrong.
Yep.
So I could do something right.
Yep.
Because if you ain't got nobody telling you that, sometimes, we do this every day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll become draining because, like, for me, in my life right now, total transparency, like, I'm really, like, understanding that I got to move around so much that I'm not around my kids every day.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really, like, I just had my first son that died, that's born on the day my father died.
Wow.
Like, and I don't even know how to still right now to adjust to that because my worst day of the year came to my best day of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm
so
just
you
trying
up in the air during that day, like,
bro, do you know?
Celebrate? Is it sorrow?
Yeah, I come home still right now, man, and I see my son.
But you said your son was born on that.
Yeah.
That's kind of like God.
Yeah, he
like,
brought him back.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. But I could look at my son right now and I could pick him up and it give me the chills. Like, the people around me, like, I tell them, I'm like, yo, man, this is like something that's really like I gotta get used to because for one, I didn't think I could have boys because I kept having all these girls. Yeah. But then he came on the day my dad passed away, and then the person that I love with all my heart gave me my pride and joy. That's bigger than any check I could ever get, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a feeling that woke me back up. It gave me my battery. My battery is so charged up right now, man. Nobody can tell me nothing different. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about, because I just saw you put on social, because I think there's still a conversation to talk. How important it is, because you running hard, though. You like, I'm talking about speaking engagement, this city,
just
tour,
running around,
restaurants, in stadiums. Like, you just got a lot going on. And I seen the other day, you like, yo, you just passed out.
Yeah.
Like, tell the people, is there a, and I know we don't really do a balance thing, but why is it also important to take care of your health, I guess?
So I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? I grabbed this water because this is all I've been drinking. I ain't even drinking no. I ain't drunk nothing since I passed out, but H2O because I actually didn't like water. Right. But I'm running and running and running, and we think like, oh yeah, man, I'm cool. I feel good. I'm only 30 plus. I'm good. I'm good. But God showed me something different the other day on that plane because it took my body from me. And I'm not used to nothing taken from me that I can't get back. And that was the first time something happened to me that I couldn't control. Because being a businessman, you always try to find out a formula to get around whatever going on, whether you made a bad mistake, money-wise and everything. But health, you can't fix it. When they want to sit you down, it's going to sit you down. And I took that moment on that plane and I was like, man, thank you, God. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to start making my health more of a priority in what I do on a day-to-day. So every day now, I've been on the treadmill. I've been working out. I've been keeping my health a little bit better because my mental was so much on just levels, and winning and inspiring that my body, like, you neglected me, man. I need a break. Like, because I tell people this, your gut tell your mind what to do and your heart stores it. Because people think that your brain is the storage. No, it's your heart. Think about it. If something you love, it hurt, don't it? Because it's stored there. You know what I'm saying? It's there. And that's the part where I had to control to say, you know what? My gut telling me to sit my ass down. I need to, get myself back in better shape. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm actually happy it happened to me because I might have ran like this for another 5 years and it might not have been look so pretty for me.
Wow. So now it's like, let me get a hold of it. It's not the same, but this ain't health-wise, but one, I'm happy you getting it together. I got to work better. I try my best to only be drinking water too. But I remember this, and I want to know kind of a turning point, switching gears. I start making $10,000 a month in my business. I want to say, I don't remember when, it was a long 6 years ago maybe. And I was like, when you start making that, you feel rich, like you arrived.
You have arrived.
And I'm like, I am up. And then I went to 10, 11, 12. And then it just started dropping 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So I promised to God, I said, God, if you take me back there, I will never take my foot off the gas. And I haven't took so I don't scoreboard watch. I'm just putting up shots. I'm running.
Damn, bro, that's exactly what I do. I don't scoreboard watch either, because this the thing. I try to make my year to year better off of opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like in the Forbes where it's like, I made more money last year than I made this year. I got that mindset a little differently. Yeah, I made the Forbes list, but this the thing. I'm not chasing Forbes. I'm chasing opportunities because the opportunity is going to get you the currency.
Yeah.
And then if you chase an opportunity, you feel good about it because, for one, where we come from, like, I ain't never, you know what I'm saying, even been in a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Not alone being on the front cover of magazines and making the Forbes list and all this stuff. So if I now bleed to these people on currency, I'm not going to give them the game the right way. Because you just said it earlier. Why does somebody get up and they go back down? Because you know why? They was never taught the financial literacy on how to learn money.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even when you got somebody that's taking care of 10 people and you saying, oh, the tab is always on that person, right? But it's that person's fault too. Because I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody that's around you doing that, you were allowed to get comfortable when you was working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's not even a given in business. Yeah. How can me and you get money together if only one of us is working?
Yeah, no, everybody.
You can't spend it. Yeah. Like, I want people, like I said, I want people to be in practice with me. Yeah. And then we could party in the game later. Yeah. But when we in practice together, we gonna know how to win. Yeah. We had something in my basketball team. We called it the spread. Right? Kentucky ran it. My basketball coach, he was friends with the Kentucky coach in high school. We ran the spread. The spread was if you went down the middle and you had to pass the ball dish off to get the assist. But if we doing figure eights, if I gotta give you the assist for you to score, that mean I passed you the ball. Right. But if you just gunning and ain't passing the ball, and I'm sitting there like, yo, Neo, pass it. I'm wide open. Yeah. Give me my shot. Yeah. I want the shot. Yeah. You're not giving it to me. That's different. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's also different when you know if you throw that ball, I hate to say it, he gonna miss that shot. Right. Because he ain't ready for it.
Yeah, he ain't prepared.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a difference. If you see somebody working on their craft every day, like that young brother that me and Pinky just invested in. He been grinding for 15 years.
What y'all investing with him? What y'all do?
His clothing line. Okay. Love. So his name Quentin. He owns this clothing line called GOAT by James King. Okay. Love. Right? Fire.
Check it out, y'all. GOAT by James King.
Yeah, fire. And what I seen in him was, for one, his ambition, his passion. But what drew my attention is when I sat down with him, he said, hey man, I got 3 girls and a boy. I got 3 girls and a boy. Mm-hmm. My son had cancer. I think it said son of cancer survivor. And I'm like, damn.
You thought about your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like because nothing in life is going to just happen. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Things don't happen for a reason. You got to take in, like, I'm a real like numbers person. I can see a number every day and be like, yo, that means something. Yeah. I don't play with signs. Like, if I get a sign, it means something to me. That's how I go with my life. Yeah. Like, people think I'll be crazy with it, but I can feel it.
Hey, stop what you're doing. I know you're watching this episode. I want you to go to 7figurevirtualeventebook.com. I'm gonna say it again, 7figurevirtualeventebook.com. I had the privilege this year to help multiple people do 6 and 7 figure days leveraging virtual events. And I put together a 7-step process that's gonna walk you through a step by step. And once you're done with that book, if you're like, Neo, I wanna learn this a lot more in a deeper sense, I want you to go to mastermindwithneo.com. This is one pillar of my mastermind, right? We got 5 different pillars that we teach. This is just one pillar, how to dominate virtual events, right? So if you're interested, go to mastermindwithneo.com and book a call with my team to see if you are a good fit to join our mastermind. Let's go.
Do you know that day I fell on the plane? I told Pinky before we left, I swear we was in the car, the driver was taking us to the airport. I said, I don't want to get on this flight. I don't feel good about this flight. Yeah. I said, something ain't right with this flight. Yeah. Wow. She was like, they don't scare me. I was like, nah, but I know how to read signs just as well as she do. I'm like, I don't feel right. Yeah. Not mentally, I mean physically. Yeah. I just didn't feel right. Yeah. And when I got
it wasn't that you thought the plane was going to go down.
No, I just ain't feel right about the plane. Yeah. And do you know, bro, I would say 15, 20 minutes for us to get to 30,000 feet is when it happened. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
in the air.
Yeah. Nothing nobody can do. Yeah. But so what I'm getting out of that is that we have to stop second guessing our gut. Yeah. Like when people right now building companies and they playing it safe, you already set yourself up to lose. Yeah. Jump off the cliff. No, don't be stupid. Like just making decisions where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I want people to see me, doing different things. Nah, but when you really believe it in your heart, don't let nobody discourage you from that, because if you know how to win, you're gonna win. And guess what else everybody gonna do? They're gonna follow.
Yeah.
Because they need to see it. That's sometimes. Powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many dreams have been stopped because somebody told them you wouldn't have a restaurant? I'm sure you wouldn't have a restaurant if you weren't strong-minded, because I don't know, but I know people told you don't open no restaurant.
I got asked this question. I posted it the other day, this little clip. They asked me, before I opened a restaurant, who did I go to? Nobody.
Yeah, wise.
Nobody.
Wise decision.
Because I didn't want nobody to get in my mental.
Yeah.
I wanted my mental to be clear on my decision. And right now, like, honestly, I don't think there's a human in this world that can redirect my gut.
Yeah.
Like, once I feel it, I feel it.
It's on.
I gotta just fail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's remember what I said? I literally said I want a restaurant, but guess what? I asked 10 people that had one. Nah, don't do it. Yes, do it. Like,
what was their reason? That's what you gotta ask them, because this is the thing.
I hear different things from different people.
So mainly, and when I tell people this, I tell them, when somebody tell me they want to get a restaurant, I say, make sure that this is your passion and what you want to do, because this is the thing. You're going to make money if you got a good product and all of that. That's the part I'm not talking about. But you're dealing with so many different personalities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Customer service got to be better than the food.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate to say this, us being black owned, we got to work even harder because it's more critical.
Woo.
Do you know right now, you can go to Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, any of these big companies, right? Get a cold fry.
Yeah.
You like, damn, they got me this time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let me give your ass a cold fry.
Yeah.
You want to go on Instagram? Man, he gave me this cold fries, hyped up. It ain't what the hype to be, because you know why? Because I call it the Christmas effect, and I'm going to give you game on this, right? So you know how, like, on Christmas, you might have a kid on the block that got the best toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were always brought up to hold that damn toy and don't share it.
Yeah.
Now your mom be like, hey, don't let nobody break it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Same thing with success. We hold it.
Yep.
And then we don't give it. Same thing with customer service. We say to ourselves, like, we got to hold it up to the highest level, because we know that if we don't hold it to the highest level, it's going to tear us back down, because we're known for not having customer service to society.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact, bro. I mean, that's a fact, bro. What's some marketing? You know I love marketing. You love marketing. Yeah. 6 restaurants now, bro. How did you come into a city, or what's some things that you would tell somebody that just dominated space? You came into a city where no one knew you. It ain't like they knew what Philly cheesesteaks was in Atlanta 7 years. Like, it ain't in water ice. Like, how did you come dominant? Like, what's some tips to y'all dominating with Slutty Vegan, with Big Days, with Barb, like everything y'all set y'all mind on, it's a domination with the marketing. What's some tips for somebody on here marketing a restaurant or period?
I think the one thing we got to do is, which is the hardest thing, is to tuck your pride and be total transparent. Because this is the thing, right? I can get around, say if I ain't in this stage in my life and I'm around a guy like you, right? And you take me out to dinner, you with a couple of your bros, and y'all giving me game on a business, right? Yep. All y'all making millions. I never even seen 500,000.
Yeah.
And some of us are ashamed to adjust to say, I want to just learn, instead of saying, oh, I got $1 million too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And really don't.
Yeah.
And then you don't even understand. You lied to yourself, but you just killed your career and your dream and your passion and everything, because guess what? You're building a lie.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. What I did was, I wasn't scared to tell people. I blew all my money. I wasn't scared to tell people I couldn't make payroll. I ain't know what sales and use tax was. I ain't have an accountant. Yep. I was the cashier, the fry cook, the cheesesteak man.
Yep.
I was everything, but I let them see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Starting out when I had my gas station, they seen these stations. They seen me work on all these stations. They seen my videos. They seen me going day to day in my car. Like, yo, let me tell you, I rode on a donut and a Jaguar for a year because I couldn't buy a tire.
Wow. Crazy.
I'm in a $100,000 car on a donut,
right?
Because it would have took me off of my square to buy this tire,
right?
Where I know that, like, I don't have any extra cash.
Yeah, crazy.
But those are the sacrifices that you got to make to win in the end,
and that they don't see.
No, that they don't see.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, it's not a track meet, it's a marathon. It's all about how you end. Just get in the race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We worried about being the first place. Oh yeah, I'm the top this, I'm the top that. Just be in it. Yeah. Be a part of the conversation. Because when we get picked, guess what? We in a room. Yeah. Whether you in front of me or I'm in front of you or how it go, we in that same room talking, having them conversations.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna take turns having years and months and weeks.
Yep.
You might have something that's about to be big, but damn, man, Neo just killed him with that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, I gotta go harder. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yep. That's how I look at my brothers and sisters that's doing good.
I just saw, like, you shared with me the magazines. I said, oh yeah, I got to get on some magazines. I said, I got to turn up more. Yeah, but that's what I want to be around those type of people. Like, you inspire me. I look at a lot of people that EYL, they my guys. I'm inspired by them.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, them brothers. I'm definitely inspired by them brothers too, man. I did a segment with them that's about to come out.
Yeah, I saw that.
We talked about.
You did the Revolt one?
Yeah, it's about to come out. But we talked about similar things, you know what I'm saying? But like I told them, like, it's not too many brothers that can just go sell out. They could sell out damn near anything right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Off
crazy.
Off of giving out the game. But you know what I like about them? Yeah. Same as you. When I do interviews with some people, like, let me talk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they let you talk. They let you tell your story. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They letting you inspire people. This is a platform where you get on and I'm gonna let you give the game and what you built. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes people don't understand. Even, bro, I'm pretty sure you done been to a lot of speaking engagements and the narrator. Yeah. Like, damn, am I here to talk or you are? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You like, they not letting you get it fully out because
that's
they
why
looking at the clock.
I don't be liking I don't like the narration ones as much because if it's an hour, it's 5 of us, you speaking for 3 minutes and it's over with.
And you better have a strong 3 minutes. Yeah. Listen, I remember one joint I did like that because I never did it before. And I'm like, damn, man, I couldn't give him the information I wanted to give him. And I'm mad at myself at that point. Yeah. Yep. So what I learned is to give somebody something so sharp in a short span of time. Yep. It's just to give it to them. Yeah. But the reason why I feel like, you know what I'm saying, Earn Your Leisure, like they really doing their thing is because they actually let you tell your story and they actually teach you the ins and out of the financial literacy. And also, man, they bringing people with them, and I respect that.
And you know, so dope. One thing that it's like the pandemic, like put a lot of people on fire.
Oh, pandemic did. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Not to even cut you off. I think the pandemic saved my life in a way.
What you mean? Tell me about it.
I met my love of my life in the pandemic. Yeah. I grew in the pandemic. Yep. Bro, I gave out so much money in the pandemic. My account was like, we're going to go bankrupt. It's going to be over. But you know what? Like I just told you earlier, only the people that's called superstars and heroes jump off the cliff. Yeah. Like you can name anybody right now who you would call a legend. They had to do something different to be called a legend.
That's a fact.
And what I did was
or something. Yeah.
I pivoted, you know what I'm saying? And I said, I'm gonna feed the communities. I'm gonna feed 40 hospitals in 30 days. Like I'm not running off on the plug with my employees. I'm going in my personal account paying payroll. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the pandemic. Yep. And then guess what? I made 2 extra million that year. You get what I'm saying? Because the way it works is this. When it's time to go see who was there at the forefront, even if you could take it, I don't care if you went all the way to religion, you're going to always say, damn, who was there for me when I was down? Yeah. Who was there for me? You're going to remember those. But even if you don't even gotta like the brand of the food, but damn, that person's soul and energy was there with me when I needed that the most. Yep. And that's what I did for them people.
Yep. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people took advantage of the pandemic and then a lot of people didn't. Like, I feel bad. Like, I was at the malls, bro. They was burning them malls down, bro. What? And that's now people hit. Listen, like, it's you bull crap with that money. You were supposed to flip that bag.
Let me tell you the other thing too. I remember going in the jewelry store, and my jeweler, he was like, damn, 3 months ago, everybody was coming in buying $60,000, $70,000 watches. Yeah. I'm like, damn. I'm sitting there saying to myself, how many people put this money into a crib? Or I just said this on the last podcast. If you got $100,000, right, to in your bank account, we would rather look at that $100,000 to say we got $100,000 and to invest it into a property, right? Now watch this. That $100,000 might bring you $4,000 a month residual income, right? But as you getting the money per month, your property is going up in value. So you might have jumped another $100,000 in less than a year and a half. The bank ain't gonna do that.
No, heck no.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
0.01%.
But I would rather have more assets than cash any day of the week because I know my money's working for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just sitting in the bank. Or I could just say, oh yeah, I got a couple million sitting right here. I'd rather have a lot of millions sitting in them bricks. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because you always could go get the money out of the bricks.
Whenever.
Yeah.
80% of it, whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that my next year is funny. I'm building a building in Philly with my guys Sean and Pat. Like we're working on like a 56 unit. Like I'm taking real estate more serious. Like I'm gonna really, because you can pass that down forever.
Forever.
You know, like I ain't like you see it's I mean, I bought NFTs, I got stocks, I got crypto. It ain't nothing wrong with it, but those things are volatile.
Yeah.
Them bricks, that Section 8 rent, regular, that's
right,
crap. Don't stop, dog.
Damn, you said that sounds so real because I stay in my lane, right?
Yeah.
And that's my lane, real estate.
Yeah, I know.
So I stay in that lane. But when I tell you, like, I do so well in real estate, like me and Pinky do like beyond well in real estate, bro. We be looking at properties like, damn, we made $500,000 off of that.
Yeah.
But it's like you ain't do nothing but invest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now this the other thing. We're not patient enough. To see the return.
That's a fact.
That's the that's the biggest problem.
I'm like, yo, how can I make the money go faster?
Yeah, but guess what? So I just like I just said, it's the race, right? So watch this. If right now you got $100,000 and you like, man, I ain't got no residual income. But I got $4,000 coming in a month, and I might got $3,500 in the bank, right? Mm-hmm. I can guarantee you that I can get a loan faster than you can.
Facts.
Because of my residual income.
Yep.
And that's what our people need to learn.
Yeah.
Because listen, I walked to a car dealer, never forget this, man, 2014. I bought a Corvette Stingray before anybody had one in Atlanta. I was the first one with it. They didn't even know what it was, bro. Yeah. I bought that joint cash off the floor, right? The reason why I bought it cash off the floor is they denied me in credit. Cause I ain't had no job, right? Yeah. So I'm like, yo, I got $1 million. Like, what are you talking about? I can pay for this 10 times over. Yeah, but you can spend that tomorrow.
Right.
And how you gonna pay for the payment after that?
Yep.
So my ego made me buy it cash, right?
Yep.
And I lost money.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole thing is I tell people like I spend cash on the right shit.
Yeah.
Like all the material stuff is like I hear people say all the time like, yeah, I own 50 cars and all that. What money is making you? Yeah,
that's a
fact. What money is it making you?
Yeah, bro. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? What money is it making you? Do it sound good that you like, I don't got no notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what money is it making you? Because my property is going to get me payments. You know what I'm saying?
And I be telling my people like, yo, cash out. Like, yo, this don't make, I'll take a note before I.
Bro, I'm going to tell you on this mic, I'm going to take a note.
Yeah, me too. I'm putting my money to work, bro. So no, I'm inspired even more on a real estate aspect because I watch. We was sitting next to each other at Invest Fest, and people was like, "Yo, all of my extra speaking engagement money, I just go buy real estate." I do.
And listen, it's organically how we kept running into each other.
Yeah.
It was God timing. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the, bro. I remember this. I'm like, I met you. I really got a chance to talk to you on Bar Vegan that day.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, I love you. I think you was in the Rafe that day, and I'm like. That's what I'm talking about, though. That shit was like, like I wanted to grab some pop. I was like, that's what I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if we don't bring each other up in what we doing, then we losing. Thanks. And everybody want to know why us as a culture, we don't go to the top together is because we want to outdo each other.
That's a fact. Or we want to do it by ourselves, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, we want to do it by ourselves.
Exactly. So
it's so funny. I was and I'm gonna approach y'all when this. I ain't gonna say it on here, but I'm putting together a fund, and essentially, where we're gonna go invest in people's businesses, not only with cash but with our influence.
And see, what you just said is important because that's what's left out. You can even look at the venture capitalists. Like some of them are really great. I know them personally. I know a few personally that like shout out to Arian Simone. Like I love what she doing as a black woman.
Oh yeah, she going crazy.
Yeah, she going crazy, and she a real good person, but. Like, we got to give that education to the business owner before we give them all the cash.
That's a fact.
Because this is the thing, like...
You don't know what you're doing.
No, because just because it's popular don't mean that it's making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to understand that because, like, my ego used to... Bro, listen, my numbers was so messed up because I didn't know business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had the popularity, but I ain't knowing my bottom lines. I ain't got the right people in certain positions.
Yeah.
So what I did was I said, listen, I got to be real with myself because I'm losing this way.
Yeah.
I got the ball now, but I'm going to have the ball even bigger when I get the right team to go ahead and slam dunk this thing. Yeah. And that's what it was all about.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, like that right team, next 2023, all hiring top talent.
It's a Jordan year, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Jordan year.
I'm on my top talent piece, real estate, and just investing. Like I want to do more. I want to invest in other companies, like buy acquisitions, bro.
Yep, that's all I'm going to do. Listen, and I tell, I want to say one more thing too. I tell this to people too. If y'all got something powerful, man, and somebody got the resources to help y'all and the money or anything that they can do to get you to the next level, stop blocking your own blessing.
Please.
Like
they 1%. Trying to hold on to everything.
Yeah, like this the thing. Like the biggest people in the world that we see right now, the wealthiest people don't own 100% of their company.
That's a fact.
Like I know people right now that's billionaires that gave that equity out to get the way we need to go. And we got to understand that because we get so in love with what we do that we forget about the mission.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't learn the mission, you're just going to be in the same place.
I was just reading it's Wikipedia. I don't know how factual everything is, but I was just reading about his name Snyder. He owned the Commanders because they said Bezos and Jay wanted to buy him. Then I saw they said I believe his name Byron Allen wanted to buy him.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to look back, like how did they get here? Like how did you become a billionaire? So I go read what they was doing, and even that team, he didn't own 100% of that.
No,
most of them don't own 100% of their team. It's partners.
They don't. And then it's the other thing. Like I tell people too that I'm investing. I get them so much of the game because I want to be total transparent with the person that I'm doing business with. So like I told these young brothers one day, I said, listen, if I get over 18% of your company, I becomes a guarantor.
Yeah.
I want to give you the real game and understand what it means when you give somebody certain amounts of equity.
Yeah.
What that means that you can't do certain things without them with you, because then it becomes from an investor to a partner.
Right.
And I don't think people know the difference between them two.
Break it down so people
it's like
understand.
it's like this. Like, so if I got a partner, now that partner now is fully invested with you, meaning that they may have over 18% over equity in the company. And then when you're going to go get leases and bank loans, they signing with you.
Yep.
They on your partnership team.
Yep.
If I'm investing with you, I gave you some capital. You go ahead and do your thing and just give me a return.
Yep.
And I think that's what we need to learn to understand now. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a partner or are you looking for an investor?
That's good.
Yeah, and that's what we got to learn.
Because not even that, like my level of commitment will be different.
It will be, yeah.
My investor, like I'm investing in different real estate deals. It's just an investment.
Yeah, you just sitting around waiting for the investment.
It's a partner. I'm a partner, not meaning I have equity, but I don't have. Y'all go do your own thing.
Yeah, because your acquisition is just for that company to scale.
Yeah,
like you're not on the day-to-day mission.
Yeah,
partnership. When we in bed together, we gotta go make this shit happen together.
Yeah,
because I got so much invested in this, not money, but my time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And I tell people this too. It ain't always currency. Sweat equity. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have the actual, if you want to be an investor and you want to get in people companies, you have the experience, you don't always have to have the capital. Yeah. You come in and say, listen, let me give you my sweat equity.
Yeah, let me grind.
Let me grind it and build this company because I got more experience than you at it.
Yeah.
But we got to get our own ways to understand that part too, because you like, damn, I done built this multi-million-dollar business. I'm not giving up no equity for nothing. I ain't getting no money out of it. Yeah. But guess what? You could have took me from 5 million to 100 million by just bringing in somebody that's going to get 2 or 3% of your company that knew the game.
Bro, what they say, 100% of a grape. People rather have 100% of a grape than 20% of a watermelon.
And that's facts.
Which one you want?
And that's facts. And they don't get it because it sounds better saying, I am the CEO and founder and I own 100% of my company.
Yeah.
And when you start talking to the big boys, right?
Yeah.
They say, hey, where your CRO come from?
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
Because it ain't respected. No money is getting given to a guy with no financial history and background. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with the big boys, they want to know who going to control this money.
Yeah. Who's here? Who's in that company?
Yes.
Yeah. They looking at us. Wait, you don't got no degree? Nah, we ain't.
Yeah, because to the world, they say that, founders are the worst business owners, in their business because of the love they have for their business.
Yeah.
So what I did was I kept hearing that, right? So I took myself out of that role for a second mentally. And I looked back at the company and I said, you know what? I love too many people in this company that don't love the company.
Wow. Who?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's me.
So I had to realize that I love too many people in the company.
I got my mom a job, like just cause mom on payroll.
Everybody. So we got to be real with ourselves too. Like, you know, we the leaders at the forefront, so we got to be real with ourselves and say, listen, we stopping our own growth by that. Like, you got some people that be like, look, man, I'd rather just give you severance and go do your own thing. You put in the work. This ain't working. How can you be mad at me that way? You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
Well, bro, man, I appreciate you, man. Any parting words you want to get to this entrepreneur who on that journey, like who looking to get to their next level? They like, I gotta keep going. What's your word for them?
I would tell somebody, man, if you're chasing your journey and your legacy, nobody can believe in you more than yourself. Like, that's just point of this. Like, self-belief is going to teach you everything you need to know, because you're going to right your wrongs and your wrong going to right your rights, because you're going to say to yourself, like, listen, I got to live and die with what I believed in. And that's the mission. And don't just work in your business, learn it. Like, learn your business. Don't never give nobody the upper hand. If they walk away from you, your business going to fold. If right now the person that's running my company choose to say, I don't want to do this today, I'm going to be all right tomorrow. You feel me? Because I know my company. And that's what we got to do. So learn your business and keep on pushing and make 2023 the strongest year of your life.
And I got to ask you, I'm sorry, because this inspired the heck out of me when you came to our Circle CEO event and you was like, oh yeah, we just opened a joint in here, and we was at Mercedes-Benz though. I'm talking about, that made me feel, because I never saw a black person ever with an establishment inside of like I told you, Chickies and Pete's and Tony Luke's. And when you said now you got 3, you got to expand on that, bro.
Yeah, so like I
know,
like, to be honest, when I first even got the information that they was even looking to let me in the stadium, I went to them people the right way and said, listen, I'm gonna change the culture in here. I'm going to be the biggest restaurant in here. But we got to work out the right deal. Not meaning I'm coming to beg, but I ain't coming in here if it ain't the right deal for me. Because I'm an anchor tenant. I ain't no add-on. I'm a trendsetter in this. And that's how you got to, it ain't cocky, it's being confident. And I think that's another thing with the world too, don't understand. People take things as you believing in yourself so much as being cocky. And no, you just not confident enough. So you don't understand me. I'm not losing in this. And I tell them that, you know, I let them know that, like, listen, when I bring Big Dave's in this stadium, we're going to turn this thing all the way up, because this is what the people want. And that's what I've been showing and proving. And now we about to open our 3rd location on Sunday.
Crazy. You know so let me ask you, when you in a stadium, is it just the games or anything that happens? So concerts.
Anything.
Wow.
Anything that comes in the stadium.
That's volume like crazy, dog.
Anything. And like,
how many people that stadium hold? Like 10, seem like 30,000?
73, I think.
73,000 people?
Yeah, something like that. But so I'm gonna just drop this. I can't let out the joints to the contract, the ink dry, but we going to a couple more of them.
I was about to ask you that, bro. I can't wait, dog. Bro, because I was thinking like this. I'm like, yo, and I don't think an average person could do that, but I'm like, when you open up, why not just start at the top? Like, it just.
So this the thing. It's, I would tell somebody they looking for the biggest failure that they trying to chase if they want to start at the top, because you don't know anything. You don't know enough information. And even if you did, you dependent on somebody else to carry the information, because you don't know. You know how people say, I'm going to go hire what I need, right? But at the highest level, you go hire what you need. You got to be able to afford that hire. And for us to afford that hire, we got to build the brand. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go through our hiccups. Like right now, I'm not going to lie to you. It will kill me to have unskilled people at the top of my company right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
especially
I think,
in multiple stadiums.
I think like, you know, one of my company bills is like $400 a month. Like I can't run a company of that type of money a month and don't have the right people controlling it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Hey, bro, I'm proud of you, dog.
Same likewise,
I'm excited.
bro.
I'm just excited
and
for the future.
I can't wait to rock this right here, you know what I'm saying?
I'll have you open it later on or whatever, but y'all, this the brand new age CEOs. Had to give my guy a package. D, let everybody know, man, where they could tap in with you, man. I know they're going to see you all over this world, but let them know.
Hey, man, you know, personal page is official D Hayes on Instagram. You know, I'm always dropping gems on there with videos, and I'm always trying to inspire my pages for just inspiring and not stunting. I can promise you. And my business page is at Big Dave Cheesesteaks. We got a lot coming this year. I got a surprise location about to jump out in a second. So we rolling, and I'm really proud of my own self. I don't think we tell each other, ourselves that enough.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm proud of myself because I know how much mental trauma I had to go through to get here.
Yeah.
Even the day-to-day, just building the brand and coming from where we came from. So when I don't need nobody too much to tell me they proud of me because I'm proud of myself, you know what I'm saying? And when you're proud of yourself, you ain't gotta wait for the hand claps.
That's a fact, bro. Listen, y'all, with that being said, make sure y'all tap in Big Dave's. Look up a Atlanta stadium near you, Doraville location, Bar Vegan, downtown location. Make sure y'all tap in and follow my guy.
And if you vegan, slide up on Slutty Vegan. You know what I'm saying?
Because vegan joints crazy.
Right now,
them vegan joints crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I tell my lady all the time, man. She the next Oprah.
Yeah,
she for sure.
Oh yeah, she different.
Yeah,
bro. I mean,
she different.
That's a fact. Shout out to Pinky, y'all. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We see y'all next time. Peace.